Welcome to the online workshop organized by Skillveda. Skillveda is your partner in skill development, offering a wide range of webinars, offline workshop, short-term courses and training programs designed to help you unlock your potential and achieve your career goals. A special welcome to our esteemed trainer, Ms. Utopa Bose, who is a senior educator having more than 25 years of experience with a passion for education and teacher trainings to share her knowledge and insights. Welcome, Ms. Bose.
Thank you so much, Twinkle ma'am. And it's really nice that, uh, people have joined here, and this shows that they want to learn about this. They want to know more about what is resource management. So that's lovely to know. So in this session, we are going to discuss that how we can move beyond textbooks, right? Because last in the last session we had received requests that we wanted a special session on how to integrate multiple resources, right? How to use so many resources, because we really fail to understand that, and we there is no time also, so it is difficult for us to understand, and there was a request that we should have a special session for that. So Twinkle ma'am has taken care of it, and very next week she has arranged for it. So we were expecting a larger crowd, although, but I'm happy with the people that I have, because it's very, very important that you want to know and learn about something, and that is why you're attending this program, right? So as I was saying, that in this session we are going to explore how we can move beyond textbooks, uh, not to eliminate the textbooks, but how we can make it more enriching experience for the students, right? So this is what our agenda is, and in the next 90 minutes, we are going to work together, we are going to share ideas, we are going to work on activities together, and we will reflect upon our own uh, practices, classroom practices, and see how we can make our classrooms more impactful. Got it? So please show me a thumbs up if you've got it. I've already set the context. So show me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. So let's move on then. Okay. So this is a situation, and I want everybody to read it. And there's a question below that we need to answer. Right. So think about it. And when you are looking for answers for yourself, कीप इन माइंड आपका क्लास, आपके बच्चे, आप क्या कैसे क्लास को पढ़ाते हैं, वो सब चीजें आपके माइंड में होना चाहिए, right? When you are answering this question. Okay, so let's take 1 minute to read it, and then another 1 minute we will quickly handle this question. All right, so let me know whenever you are done. अगर नहीं समझ में आए तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. If you don't understand the situation, you can ask me. तो बेसिकली इसमें ये दिया हुआ है कि एक दिन आप ऐसा कोई मिरेकल हो जाता है कि एक कोई मैजिक वॉन्ड आके सारे रिसोर्सेज हटा देता है आपके, सिर्फ आपकी टेक्स्ट बुक रह जाती है आपके पास. सो हाउ वुड यू फील अबाउट इट? सो दैट इज व्हाट वी वांट टू नो. Anybody who would like to share? Of course, everybody would like to share.
May I, ma'am?
Yes, Ritik.
Thank you for this opportunity. Ma'am, being an educator, I would feel limited and less effective if only textbooks were available, because teaching is not just about content, right? It's about connection, creativity, and also engagement, as we can say.
Right.
And without other resources like visuals, activities, and real life content, it became very difficult for students as well as for teachers. And
Exactly.
yeah, and real life content, it becomes actually difficult to meet diverse learning needs. Textbooks actually guide us, but meaningful learning happens when we blend them with interactive methods, that spark curiosity and makes knowledge come alive for students. I hope
Right.
am I right here?
Very well put. Ritik, really, it was really nicely explained. Anybody else who would like to share? So there is no language barrier. आप
Yes,
जो
ma'am.
language में comfortable हैं, आप
Hello.
बोल सकते हैं.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Dr. Renuka, is that?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yes, please.
Actually, when we teach in the class, we teach beyond something is away from the textbook, related to the concept, applying to the real life applications. So if only textbook is there and we cannot have any of sort of an experience or a video preference, it's very difficult for the children to interact and make them understand, especially in terms of a low achievers. That would be really difficult.
Correct. Very rightly said. So we've taken two views. Anybody else who would like to share? Otherwise, we'll move on. Okay. And Sumit Panda is writing that you'll feel disabled. Yeah, very true. Very true. So if there is only one book that we need to cater to, obviously we will feel that our wings have been clipped, right? So हमें ऐसा लगेगा कि हमको restrict कर दिया गया है, right? Okay. So that's wonderfully explained how you would feel if there is only one book. So let's move on to the next part of the uh, session. So here, let's take a quick look at what the objectives are for this session so that we are aligned to whatever discussions will happen. Okay, would somebody read this out for all of us? Is there anybody who wants to take the initiative to read it out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. The objectives are understand the challenges in a multi-resource integration, understand NEP 2020 and LCS National Curriculum Framework 2023, emphasis on using a diverse teaching learning materials, understand the significance of setting the curriculum priorities, explore key integration strategies, understand the significance of a micro-lesson plan, learn some plan, learn some time management strategies.
Right. So these are the objectives of the session, and throughout the session, we are going to discuss this. All right. So I would like you to keep this in mind so that it will be easier for you to follow the flow of the session. Okay, great. So here is another very important question. What challenges do you face when you are using more than one resource in your class? That is very important for us to understand. First, we need to reflect and on our own experience. क्या challenges हैं?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, Ritik?
ओके, थैंक यू मैम। जब हम एक से ज्यादा बुक्स या रिसोर्सेज का यूज करते हैं तो जो
Right.
कंटेंट का रिपीटेशन होता है, तो मैम मतलब कंटेंट का रिपीटेशन हो सकता है, कंफ्यूजन हो सकती है, टाइम मैनेजमेंट और इश्यूज और रेलेवेंट मटेरियल चूज करने में दिक्कत होती है, जो प्लानिंग को कॉम्प्लेक्स बना देता है।
Correct. Very true. Very true, Ritik. Well done.
थैंक यू।
And anybody else who wants to share their experience? See, we are a very small group, huh? So I would expect that everybody contributes. We can take that. Yeah, Renuka, Dr. Renuka. Yes, please.
Yeah, on the positive note, if I see, I have to use more resources because depends, we have a diverse group of children. All children won't be able to understand one resource, right? So it's better to use at least two or three resources.
Ma'am, your voice is
Very
cracking. Is it my internet connection or is it cracking for everyone?
Yeah, the
Am I
voice.
audible now?
You are audible, but your voice is echoing a lot actually.
Okay. Is it
Yeah.
now clear?
it is better. I think if you can speak a little louder, Dr. Renuka.
Yeah, I feel like, as for my personal, can you hear me now?
Yes,
It's
I
louder
can.
side. Yeah, on my personal experience as in a, because I'm a, as of now as a principal, even though I'm a principal, free resources because I have a differentiated group of children where using one particular resource cannot be understood by everyone. Might be
Yeah,
a high achiever extends beyond a limit. So I
right.
need to give always a challenging sort of a thing beginning so that whatever the resource I use is also become a challenge trying to make them understand clearly and explore on it further.
Right, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Very true, very true. So we've got 2, 3 points here. Anybody else wants to share?
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Yeah, please.
Uh, I think, ma'am, this is my experience. Managing multiple resources can be disorganize the class, making hard to keep track what we are being covered.
Yeah, correct, correct. So it leads to
Yes.
disorganization in the class.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
true, very true. Anybody else who would like to share? Okay, so let's
I
see
think,
that. Yeah, yes, please.
hello, ma'am. If the planning is effective in the constant time, using your resources effectively, knowing the parts of your children understanding, I think I don't see any problem with the multiple resources.
Right. So
I
that
think
is
you
what the
are with,
question is.
yes.
That is what we are trying to hit at. Planning, right? So this is the one word that I'm taking from here and I'm keeping it in the parking lot because we're going to discuss it later in the session, right? So let's
Sure,
wrap up
sure.
what our common concerns are. So first, like Ritik said, the time constraints are there. Curriculum alignment, like what all resources do you align with the, the outcomes, right? Then there is a concern of overlapping or contradictory content because maybe two books are uh, they have the same topics, but the way the content has been presented, it might not match, right? So it leads to confusion. Then, like Meera said, that classroom management becomes an issue because, like Dr. Renuka also said, that children don't understand in the same way, right? So if you're conducting an activity or you're showing a video, there may be children who don't understand that in the same manner as they should. So that develops a learning gap, right? Then you have resource overload for students. So this book, this video, that activity. So this can lead to fatigue in children, right? Then there are technological barriers. For example, you have, you wanted to show a video and your internet didn't work, or your projector didn't work, or your LCD didn't work. So you are stuck, correct? So your session, your takes a hit, right? Then there are administrative expectations also. The management of the school expects a lot from you. And when you are juggling between these resources, your somewhere or the other, your performance might get hit. And, the management may not find it to their expectation. So these are all the common challenges that I have written here, right? Which the teachers over the world face. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. So now we are going to talk about NEP and NCF. So what is the emphasis on? So NEP clearly says that we are not going to depend on textbooks alone, right? And it has even given guidelines how a textbook should be. So it says that a textbook should be engaging. It should not have too much of content. Only the core content should be there. The core knowledge should be there. And then you, uh, bring in other resources also. So the dependency on the textbook, as it was earlier, reduces. ठीक है? अब हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि टेक्स्ट बुक में मैटर कम है और जब मैटर कम है तो हम उसको पूरा करने के लिए हमको अलग अलग सोर्सेस लाने पड़ेंगे, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोई एक्टिविटी हमें पुट इन करना पड़ेगा, कोई हमें वीडियो दिखाना पड़ेगा, कोई हमें वर्कशीट बनानी पड़ेगी, कोई हमें स्टोरी दिखाना पड़ेगा, कोई स्टोरी आर्टिकल्स कुछ लेके आने पड़ेंगे हमें, तो केस स्टडीज हैं. So these are all the things that they want us to do. Now the onus is on the teacher, right? अब आप जो टेक्स्ट बुक्स अभी हैं जो 2 साल पहले थी और अभी अगर आप देखें टेक्स्ट बुक्स में, there's a vast change, right? Even NCERT has been revamped totally, right? So the presentation of the content, and they have reduced also, if in some of the cases they have reduced lessons also, right? And they have revamped the content also. So these are the things that are happening according to NEP's guidelines. Based on NEP guidelines, these are the things that are happening. Even private publications have changed their designing a lot, right? They have put a lot of hands-on activities, a lot of hot questions. So ये सब changes अभी NEP के basis पे हो रहे हैं, right? And what does NCF say on these lines? That the textbook is an enabler of learning, right? So it is not a container of knowledge. So knowledge does not come from the textbook alone. That is what NCF is saying, right? But ये सब चीजों की जरूरत हमें क्यों पड़ी? क्यों NCF और NEP कह रहे हैं कि हमें ऐसा करना चाहिए? I have, according to me, these are the 3 most important points. You may add to it also. For example, the first one, let's discuss about the first one. Different resources help cater to different learning styles. Like Dr. Renuka had said, कि अलग तरीके से सीखता है हर बच्चा, right? So एक टेक्स्ट बुक है, टेक्स्ट बुक में वही पैटर्न है जिसके थ्रू सबको लर्न करना है, बट जो डिफरेंटली सीखना चाहता है बच्चा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल देर आर 3 types of learners, right? Learning style, right? What are they? 3 styles, learning styles. Come on.
मैम विजुअल लर्नर्स, ऑडिटरी लर्नर्स, काइनेस्थेटिक, यही है ना?
Yes, yes.
ओके मैम.
Visual, kinesthetic and auditory. So visual learner तो सीख लेगा बुक्स पढ़ के, right? Auditory भी कुछ हद तक सीख लेगा सुन के. But what about the kinesthetic learner? कैसे सिखाएंगे हम उसको? So do we leave that child out? So if we are dependent only on one resource, this is the restriction. Then next is the answer. Multi-book integration helps fill the conceptual gaps, enriches content. For example, we are teaching from the NCERT book, right? But I feel that किसी और सोर्स में ये वाला पार्ट जो है उसको हम अच्छे से पुट इन कर सकते हैं. There is some gap is which is there in the book which I can fill up from somewhere else. So as a teacher, because I want to give the best to my student, I will bring that resource in, right? So एक तो बुक हो गया, फिर मेरा दूसरा एक आर्टिकल हो गया या कोई वीडियो हो गया जिसके थ्रू मैं उस गैप को प्लग इन कर सकती, right? So this is what multi-book integration helps us. Help avoid the risk of duplication. Like Kritik had mentioned, that बहुत बार क्या होता है कि हम duplicate चीजें पढ़ा, मतलब एक ही इंफॉर्मेशन को हम 2-3 लेसन्स में वो दिया हुआ है, तो अगर हम अलग अलग लेसन्स को पढ़ा रहे हैं तो क्या हो रहा है कि वो ड्यूप्लीकेशन हो रही है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स EVS में पढ़ा, there is something in math which can be related. तो अगर हम इन दोनों को प्लस कर देते हैं तो हमारी लर्निंग ज्यादा होलिस्टिक होगी, ड्यूप्लीकेशन नहीं होगा और हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी बेटर होगी, राइट? एंड इट ऑल्सो डज अवे विद कंफ्यूजन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं एक नेचुरल डिजास्टर पे मैं लेसन पढ़ा रही हूँ, राइट? तो उसके बाद मैं वेदर पे जा रही हूँ या क्लाइमेट चेंज पे जा रही हूँ, तो it is not possible for me to remember what did I say in this lesson when I was teaching natural disasters. So when I'm teaching weather or climate change, maybe I say something which does not match with what I said in natural disaster. तो वहां पे क्या होता है, बच्चा कंफ्यूज हो जाता है कि मैम ने उस लेसन में तो ये बोला था, अब मैम ये बोल रही हैं, so which is true, right? So to avoid all these problems, it is better to integrate, to bring things together, right? So let's see how we can do it. First step, first step to integration process is setting curriculum priorities, right? First, we should know where we need to reach. What is our destination? Correct? So, and NEP and NCF has very beautifully, NCF तो subject wise सारा कुछ explain करता है कि क्या आपके curricular goals होने चाहिए. तो उसमें basically 4 चीजें ज़्यादा emphasis है NEP और NCF में. First is experiential learning. Second is interdisciplinary approach. Third is personalized and inclusive education. And fourth is competency based outcomes. So अब हमारे पास 4 ये pointers आ गए, right? When we are talking about curricular priorities. Okay, तो हमारा curriculum है. Curriculum, you understand the difference between curriculum and syllabus? Can somebody explain what is the difference between curriculum and syllabus? Because here we are not talking about syllabus, we are talking about curriculum.
Curriculum
Ma'am,
is the task. Okay,
Yeah.
Ritik sir, you want to speak? You can.
थैंक यू मैम. करिकुलम एक ब्रॉडर कॉन्सेप्ट होता है जो कंप्लीट एजुकेशनल एक्सपीरियंस या फिर ऑब्जेक्टिव्स या कंटेंट, टीचिंग मेथड्स और असेसमेंट को कवर करता है, राइट? और
Correct,
अगर
yes.
हम वहीं सिलेबस की बात करें तो सिलेबस उसका एक हिस्सा होता है जो स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट्स का कंटेंट और टॉपिक को डिफाइन करता है.
Correct, correct. So, Sumit Panda, what is your name, ma'am?
Ma'am, Sumit Panda.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. So, Sumit, would you like to add to this?
Yes, ma'am. Curriculum, what the school want to teach the students with the teaching plus any other activities which are done in the school. And syllabus is what that they are just learning by the textbooks and by the teacher only. And curriculum
Right.
includes the activity, sports, games, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah, so it,
right.
like Ritik said, it encompasses the whole thing, all the resources in, all the subjects in, right? So that is a broader spectrum word, and this is I mean, it is limited to textbooks and the what is contained in the subject. Okay, so that is the difference. So here we are talking about curriculum priorities. So what we want our children to really learn, all right, in an academic year. So next we going to explore the key integration strategies. Okay. So how we can make this integration process smoother. So first comes the backward design approach. Those who had attended the session plan session, creating effective plan session plans, we had discussed this in detail. Backward approach design से हम क्या समझते हैं? यूजुअली हम क्या करते हैं, पहले ऑब्जेक्टिव सेट करते हैं, फिर हम लेसन को पूरा प्लान करते हैं, एंड देन हम आउटकम को लिखते हैं कि बच्चों ने क्या सीखा, राइट? वो एंड में लिखते हैं. बट बैकवर्ड डिजाइन अप्रोच बोलता है कि आप पहले जो बच्चों को आप सिखाना चाहते हो, व्हाट आउटकम यू वांट टू अचीव, यू राइट दैट फर्स्ट, एंड देन यू ब्रिंग ऑल योर रिसोर्सेज टुगेदर. वो रिसोर्सेज जो आपको उस आउटकम तक पहुंचने में आपको मदद करेंगे, राइट? सो फॉर एग्जांपल आप चाहते हैं कि से यू आर टीचिंग देम वेदर, सो यू वांट टू टीच देम द कॉजेज ऑफ climate change. Why you want to teach the causes of climate change? Because they become aware of their own actions. कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि उनके कोई किसी एक्शन से क्लाइमेट चेंज एग्रवेट हो रहा है, राइट? सो दिस इज योर आउटकम, दैट यू वांट देम टू लर्न अबाउट देयर ओन एक्शन एंड हाउ दे आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू क्लाइमेट चेंज. दिस इज योर outcome. So now you will be gathering resources. तो टेक्स्ट बुक में तो है ही, प्लस आपका एक वर्कबुक भी है, उसमें आपके क्वेश्चंस वगैरह हैं एंड हैंड्स ऑन एक्टिविटीज भी होती हैं, दैट प्लस आपके पास हो सकता है कोई और तीसरा एक रिसोर्स हो, तो उसमें से आप कौन सा बिट इसके साथ रिलेट करेंगे, राइट, एंड देन उसके बाद आप कौन सा वीडियो दिखाएंगे, क्या एक्टिविटी आप करा सकते हो, तो इट बिकम्स easier, right? Isn't it? Doesn't it become easier? Any responses?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Right? How? Pratibha ma'am, how?
Ma'am, it becomes easier when we give multiple activities to the students so that every child is engaged in the classroom.
But how does backward model approach, backward design approach help you to make things easier? Why
We
can't we
can,
go the straight way?
yeah, we are, in this case, we'll be thinking from student-centric methodology. So where we understand what will the student understand from our teaching.
Right, correct. So I will give you a very simple example for this. Say you're planning a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do first?
Yeah, we'll book the tickets. We'll gauge the expenses. Yeah.
Before that,
We'll plan the dates.
before that.
We'll choose the destination.
Exactly. So your outcomes are the destination. So first we are going to choose the destination where we want to reach. Right? For example, I don't choose the destination. I book the for what will I book the tickets for? For which place do I book the tickets for? Right?
Right.
What clothes do I put in my bag? Right? So everything depends on that destination. Dates also. For example, you plan to go to Manali, right? And you choose somewhere in January, December, January. I know that snowfall is very good, but there are other things also. The roads might get blocked, right, because of the snowfall, and you are stuck in that place. So you have to cater into these factors also. So first is the destination, and a destination in this case is our outcome, right? So that is how backward design helps us. Correct? Then there is something very, very interesting and very important. This is called resource mapping grid. Have you heard about this term before?
मैम आई गेस ये प्लानिंग टूल होता है जिसमें एजुकेटर अपने लेसन
No.
प्लान के लिए गोल्स के हिसाब से अवेलेबल रिसोर्स को सिस्टमेटिकली लिस्ट करता है।
Okay, fine. So that's a definition that you have given, right? Have you done it practically?
अब मैम कॉलेज में तो बताया था, और अभी जहाँ मतलब मैं इंटर्नशिप में पढ़ा रहा हूँ बीएड में, तो वहां पर भी थोड़ा बहुत कर ही लेते हैं।
Achha. Okay, all right, very good. So that's good to know that you are using this. So basically, I'll tell you what it is. Like Ritik said. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is a resource mapping grid. For example, I'm teaching a lesson on natural disasters, right? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to list all the resources here. So one is my course book, main course book. So page number I've written. There is a workbook also where maybe there are some activities or some questions, right, related to the lesson. So 26 page number I've written here. Then worksheet, like worksheet, I need to prepare a worksheet. I want to ask certain questions which are not given in the book, or maybe after finishing a part of the lesson, I want to give them a short worksheet just to recapitulate, help them recapitulate their knowledge and for me to assess whether they have understood or not, right? So I prepare a worksheet, and let me tell you, worksheet कोई elaborate चीज नहीं, जरूरत नहीं है कि आपका खूब elaborate होए, खूब illustrious होए, है ना? आप छोटे 2-3 क्वेश्चंस का भी एक वर्कशीट बना सकते हैं, we need to keep the outcome in mind. What do I need to, what do I want to achieve through this activity? Correct? उसके बाद आपका एक supplementary book भी होगा, maybe some SDG or something. Okay? तो
मैम
उसमें क्या होगा?
मैम हम लोग अपने स्कूल में वर्कशीट बनाते हैं, और वर्कशीट क्या होता है, एक्सरसाइज की टेक्स्ट बुक जो भी है वहाँ के क्वेश्चंस नहीं होते हैं. इन बिटवीन द लाइंस वी जस्ट पुट द क्वेश्चंस which they will not get from the Google also. Extra questions they give.
एग्जैक्टली तो गूगल तो अलग चीज होती है. आई मीन वो तो फिर बच्चे वैसे भी कर लेते हैं, राइट? बट आई वॉन्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड वेदर वट एवर इंफॉर्मेशन आई हैव शेयर्ड that the child has understood or not, whether he has gathered that information or not, right? तो उसके लिए सुमित आप वर्कशीट बनाते हो, राइट? तो इसका एक बहुत इजी वे में आपको बताऊंगी अभी, राइट? Then I maybe natural disasters के साथ I have identified 2 SDGs, right? One is 11, which says sustainable cities, and second is your climate change, SDG number 13, right? So these two I have chosen. Now मेरे पास वो बुक भी है, ठीक है, जो मुझे पूरी करनी है. तो अब मैं क्या करूंगी, जब मैं नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स वाला लेसन करा रही हूँ तो मैं उसी के साथ उस एसडीजी को भी ले आऊंगी. करेक्ट? तो मेरा, क्योंकि वो फ्लो में चल रहा है इंफॉर्मेशन, हाँ, तो वो स्मूथली एक साथ हो जाएगा. नहीं तो मेरे को क्या करना पड़ेगा, अगर मैं ये अलग अलग कराऊंगी तो मुझे अलग अलग एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा. तो इट इज अगेन रेपिटेशन ऑफ नॉलेज, इंफॉर्मेशन, राइट? इंस्ट्रक्शंस भी आपकी रिपीट होंगी, इंफॉर्मेशन भी आपकी रिपीट होंगी, और आपका टाइम जाया होगा, राइट? So this is a very good way of doing it, integration. Then you've identified a video, right? So you will put that link here, and maybe some activity. Maybe you want to invite the NDRS people and they can do a workshop for them. हाँ, जैसे earthquake safety पे. तो ये पूरा एक होलिस्टिक आपका लर्निंग हो गया जो आप बच्चे को दे. और क्या हो रहा है एडवांटेज इसमें, दैट यू आर सेविंग ऑन टाइम. वील सी ये कैसे टाइम मैनेजमेंट के साथ रिलेट करता है, वील सी इन द लेटर इन द सेशन, राइट? So this is one tool that you can use. This is one strategy that you can use. Resource mapping grid. Time लगता है इसको बनाने में. You have to go through the whole book, all your resources together, right? But if you do this, rest of your life is sorted. ठीक है?
So, ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Pratibha ma'am.
Yeah, can we include this as a part of the lesson? I mean, after we are done with the lesson plan, can this go at the end of it so that all teachers are aware of all the resources that we are using?
Ma'am, if you do this first, it will make your lesson planning easier.
Right.
Right? So
Yes.
first step is this map, and then comes your lesson plan, because here you have listed all your resources. So
Right.
it will be easier for you to now make your lesson plan.
Yes.
Right?
So this is again a reverse approach.
Yes, correct. We are
Yes.
talking about a backward design.
Yes, yes.
Correct. So because हम आप सोचो that we are making the lesson plan. हाँ, so we are taking a look at this book, that book, and it is going to take a lot of time. And then again, from that lesson plan, we come here. So this is another exercise. So it is going to take up a time, right? So all this is going to, these are all time management strategies, and we'll see how it is going to help us, right? So this is one more strategy. Let's move on to the next one. This is thematic or conceptual integration. Have you done this? In practice, have you done this? Or have you heard about it?
Yeah, I think the interdisciplinary projects come under this, ma'am.
Yeah, yes. So I'm going to come to that. But what do we usually do when we start with our curriculum, or sorry, syllabus? So what do we usually do? We start from the first chapter. first, second, third, like this we go, right? But there is one strategy which can help you club your chapters together, right? So that you can maintain the flow of the topic and 2-3 chapters get covered in one go, right? So let's do an exercise here to understand this better. I'll just show you something. Just let me know when you are able to see my screen. I'm sorry, this is taking a little time. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. Let me reduce the size a little bit so that the whole thing comes in front of you. Okay, so let's take a look at the first topic, migration and family structure. Okay, so now I want you to take a look at all the other chapters and see which other chapter can you club with this chapter. Of course, you don't have the book in front of you. I'm just saying, like, based on the names of the chapters, we can do that. Otherwise, so we have to take a look at the chapter as well. But here, just for sake of the exercise, we'll take only the names. So migration and family structure. Which all other chapters can be clubbed with this chapter? Anybody?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
number 21.
Number
Houses, I can't.
21. Yes, very good. Yes.
Yes, and breathe in and out.
Which one is that?
Breathe, which number? Number 14.
Number 14.
Number
Okay.
14.
Breathing in and out.
Yeah,
Breathing in and out. Why?
because it is related with the migration and family structure. So migrating,
So we are talking about migration
sorry,
and family structure. So maybe
family
we are
structure.
talking about how
Okay, sorry,
migration
that comes
affects the
under
family.
respiration, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is related to migration,
Yeah, I think number
right?
6, ma'am, protecting animals.
Or
Protecting.
Ma'am,
spirit
can
of
you please
adventures.
repeat the question which you're asking now?
Yeah. So we have taken this first lesson as our base lesson, and now we are trying to see which other lesson we can take up along with this lesson so that we can maintain a flow, right? So
Um,
one,
Okay, ma'am.
yeah,
मैम चैप्टर 21 और 2 को भी ले सकते हैं और 4 को भी हम फर्स्ट चैप्टर में क्लब कर सकते हैं.
Yes. 2 is also
chapter
dignity of
21,
labor.
how simple machines, how it is going to relate to migration and family structure.
मैम
Because
जो
when we
20
hello,
Yes, yes, Renuka ma'am.
when we migrate, it talks about the different way of lifestyle of living in different places
Yeah,
and on the
Ma'am,
family structure.
yeah,
ma'am, it
yes.
can
So,
connect with the number 17, spirit of adventure.
Yes,
Migration
that
can
also
be
can
done for the adventure also.
adventure.
okay, spirit of adventure. So migration and family structure can be taken up with
Dignity of labor also, ma'am, too.
houses
Dignity of
we live
labor.
in, like Renuka ma'am had said, houses we live in. Then we have one more.
Dignity of labor.
Sumit had said, which one, Sumit?
17,
Dignity.
spirit of
17.
adventure.
Correct. Spirit of adventure. What else? Can we take
Dignity of
natural
labor, too.
disasters? Can we take
Too,
natural
ma'am.
disasters?
Yes, we also can take natural disasters
Yes, ma'am.
because of
Natural disasters, right? Then
Natural
can we
disaster.
take food storage and shortage?
Ma'am,
Yes,
number
ma'am.
7 also farmers and farming. If the
Yes,
family is about the farmers and they do the farming in the another places and we can connect with that.
right. So can we take dignity of labor as well?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am, we
ma'am.
can
So
Yes,
take.
can we
ma'am.
take it?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, it is a human dignity. Labor
And
is a human.
we can take 9 also, growth and dispersal.
Yes. So you see how it is flowing now. So it is not necessary that I start from chapter 1 and then take chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 like this. If I feel that, this is how clubbing happens, right? So integrate all these chapters together. So what is going to
We can
happen
go
is
with 4 also. 4.
मैम
Heritage
क्या
building
4
of
भी हो
India.
सकता है?
heritage buildings of
Heritage
India.
building of India, yes. In
How?
different states.
How?
Heritage building, migration, when you go to the different stage, when I say heritage or buildings or civilization, if you talk about, we can
Okay,
talk
so
about
we can talk
Hindustan
about culture
civilization,
also.
yeah, Harappan civilization, all these
Yes,
things we can integrate with
yes,
this.
Ma'am,
correct,
in class
correct.
10, there is a chapter in making the global world of history. Class 10 chapter,
Hmm.
history. It is to somehow connected with the globalization of economics in the class 10 chapter. Same
Yes,
globalization, yes, ma'am.
yes. So now, right now, we are talking about a single book. Like I'm talking about EVS. So we have taken EVS book, and now we are categorizing the lessons according to the theme, right? So if you pick a theme, it will be easier for you to deliver your lessons because you have to make less efforts because you have already set the context, right? You have already set the context, and now you are just moving from one heading to another, right? So it makes it easier for you to explain things and the child to easy. It is easier for him to understand how things are related. So there are so many things. Just one little activity like clubbing the lessons together is helping you to do so much, right? So this is what I was trying to say. So let's come back now. So, and like Dr. Renuka had said earlier, that there is one more method of doing it, that is making it cross disciplinary, right? So I am
Yes.
talking about a chapter, say weather in EVS, right? So which chapter how can I integrate English with that? Integration means I am not teaching English in my EVS period, but some uh, part of or some lesson in my English book can be related to EVS. We'll discuss how this can be brought into action. Right. So what can we take here? Can you give me a suggestion?
Ma'am, we can take a poem,
Climate,
The Wind.
Yeah, very good.
something about temperature, climate,
Excellent. Excellent.
uh, mm, and we can talk something about the extremes, the coldest, the hottest.
Right. So maybe there is some story about a natural
Yes.
disaster, weather, some place which is very dry or something, the hardships and all. Some poem on rain, some poem on wind. So
Wind.
we can choose that, right?
Yes.
Then in math, how do we bring math in?
Sir, ma'am, for maths, we can see the temperature and all. calculations with the temperature we can do with
Yes,
weather?
yes. So
How
we
much
can bring
weather
in,
is
yeah, so we can pick maybe a chapter from data representation,
data
right?
handling, ma'am?
Yeah, data
Data
handling.
handling.
Yeah, data handling. So, and then we can integrate with this, right? So it is always not possible that we do this integration, but the point is that wherever we can, we should, right? Now, to do this, it requires बहुत सारा collaboration की जरूरत है ना? कि English teacher, EVS teacher, math teacher, drawing teacher, everyone comes together and makes the plan, right? तो इसमें क्या होगा कि जब ईवीएस, जिस वीक में ईवीएस का ये वाला चैप्टर हम करा रहे हैं, उसी वीक में इंग्लिश का वो वाला चैप्टर होगा जो हम सजेस्ट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? मे बी द पोम, राइट? मैथ में डेटा हैंडलिंग का वो चैप्टर होगा, वो पार्ट होगा जो हम कह रहे हैं वेदर से रिलेटेड. So it may not be possible because ये data handling math books में काफी later आता है, ठीक है? तो अगर हम इसको ऐसे कर रहे हैं, अगर हम collaborate करके हम subject integration हम सोच रहे हैं, then we will have to sit together and we will have to plan our lessons like that. Right, because it is always not possible कि जब मैं EBS में weather कर दूं तो आप इंग्लिश में उस पोम को करो या मैथ में आप इसको करो, राइट? एंड वन मोर थिंग, फॉर एग्जांपल हमें ईवीएस में बहुत सारे डायग्राम्स होते हैं, मतलब आपके जो अदर एक्टिविटीज होती हैं बहुत ज्यादा होती हैं ईवीएस में, साइंस में, सोशल साइंस में, राइट? सो हाउ डू वी डू इट? सो फॉर एग्जांपल you are talking about weather, climate change, right? Up now, you've thought of an activity where they show what climate change does, cause and effect relationship you want to establish. So what you can do is you can speak to the drawing teacher and tell her that, see, I want them to make a poster like this. तो आपने क्या करा? आपने एक्टिविटी कराई, right? But the load is shifted to the drawing teacher. Drawing teacher को poster making कराना ही है, so she can take this topic, right? So now you see how there is a link between everything, correct? So this is how you can integrate subjects also. So this is one more very important strategy of integration, right? So let's move on to the next strategy now. This is a very interesting strategy, which is layered instruction. So what is happening here? We have already spoken about it, ठीक है? ये देखने में बहुत difficult लग रहा है बहुत, correct? तो आपका main base है, इसमें 3 segments हैं, आपको दिख रहा है, right? There are 3 parts to it. So we begin with the core layer or the basic layer, where we are sharing the basic knowledge about the topic, ठीक है? और वो हमें कहाँ मिलेगा? मेन टेक्स्ट बुक, ठीक है? उसके बाद when I have ascertained कि वो basic knowledge बच्चों ने gather कर लिया, then I go to the supplementary layer, right? जिसमें मैं application सिखाऊं कि जो knowledge आपने सीखी है उसको आप apply कैसे. So what am I going to do? I am going to take up some activities like case study, right? I give them a case study and I ask them to analyze and answer the question, right? So, and depending on their answer, I get to know कि उनको basic समझ में आया या नहीं आया. So I am assessing then and there, right? Stories हैं, activities from other sources like कोई हमने वीडियो दिखा दिया या कोई एक ऐसी एक्टिविटी कराई, कोई एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन करा दिया, right? Which will help me understand whether the children have gathered the knowledge that I have shared with them, and that I will understand only if they are able to apply. ठीक है? For example, हम 5-digit numbers math में सिखा, ठीक है, ऐसे 5 digit number बनता है, वैसे 5 digit number बनता है, but do we teach them how to apply it in their real life? Give me an example. How do we teach them? Anyone? 5 digit numbers का हमारी लाइफ में क्या इम्पोर्टेंस? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I say something?
Yes, yes, Purvi.
Ma'am, before teaching 5-digit numbers, we have to teach them place value.
We have taught them. We have taught them place value. We have taught them. We have. I mean, we have transcended to this place that we are now teaching them 5 digit numbers. ठीक है. अब कोई क्वेश्चन कर सकता है कि हमें क्यों सीखना है 5 digit numbers?
Madam, in order to understand profit and loss, we should, while dealing any transaction, suppose if you are carrying money to the market and we did shopping, so how much money did we spend?
Okay.
So in order
where
to
do you see these
understand
large
that,
numbers?
Ma'am,
कहाँ large numbers?
maybe on fingers they can identify that 5 fingers is, maybe I don't know about the
No,
mathematics.
my question is कि कोई बच्चा मुझे पूछे कि मैम मुझे 5 digit numbers क्यों सीखना है? Why do I need to learn about this? Know about this? Why do I need to know about this?
it's very easy, madam. When students, means the parents, or whenever they grow up, suppose they are getting almost amount more than 10,000 rupees. So in order to analyze the expenses and other things, so they
Right.
should know 5-digit minimum. That is the basic
Right.
knowledge required.
Right. So basic knowledge. For example, you can tell them that, okay, you go and buy an AC. What is the cost? So they will say so and मतलब so much. तो वो 5 digit number हुआ ना. Right. So ये सब, then you can, that is what I'm saying, that you link that knowledge to your real life. Only then the child will understand. Otherwise, he's a closed mind. Because their parents are sending them to school and you are teaching them, they will learn, but they will not understand. Right. So that is why this approach is very, very important. Like Sumit said, that हमें place value नहीं, Sumit नहीं, पूर्वी ने बोला था शायद, that हमें place value सिखाना है. So place value is the basic, the core layer, and then we are teaching them about larger numbers. This is the progression. Okay. So how do we know that they have understood the basic? We are telling them to give examples from real life. We are giving them case studies to analyze. We are doing other activities. For example, we are giving them to form 5 digit numbers. So this is the application. All right. Then comes the enrichment layer, which is critical thinking. This is the last outcome. That this is what we need to teach the student, that he needs to use his brain, his own knowledge, own understanding, be creative, and construct something new. Okay, so this is like constructive learning. So what we can do here, we can take them to field trips. For example, you're talking about history, you're talking about civilization. All right. So can we take them to an archaeological museum so that they can see for themselves? Can we do that?
Yes, of course, ma'am. Of course, ma'am.
If they go to the archaeological museum, हम तो सिर्फ उनको field trip में लेके जा रहे हैं कि हमको उनको civilization के बारे में बताना है. What other learning can happen? Can somebody tell me? What other learning can happen?
They can know about the history, ma'am.
Of course, they will know about the history. So हम तो, for example, मैं Mesopotamian civilization का बता रही हूँ या Indus Valley civilization का बता रही हूँ. Right? And I have taken them from that perspective. But there, वहाँ पे वो दूसरी civilizations को भी देख रहे हैं, right? Maybe they have seen something from the Mesopotamian period, or they have seen something from the Chinese civilization. So what is happening is हम तो एक perspective से लेके गए, but उनका knowledge broaden हो गया because they have gathered other information also. So this is the advantage of a field trip, and that is how they are processing knowledge. They are becoming more creative. So now when you come back to the school and ask them that, okay, what did you see? What is the difference between Mesopotamian civilization and Indus Valley civilization? So they will be able to answer you based on their own creative thing that they have established in their mind. जो नॉलेज उन्होंने खुद से लिया है, आपने नहीं पढ़ाया उनको, ठीक है, लेकिन उन्होंने खुद से लिया. मे बी यू हैव नॉट रीच्ड चाइनीज सिविलाइजेशन अभी, ठीक है, बिकॉज मेसोपोटेमियन से हम शुरू कर रहे हैं, चाइनीज केम लेटर, ठीक है, लेकिन उनको पहले ही पता था, ठीक है. अब क्या होगा, व्हेन यू टीच चाइनीज सिविलाइजेशन, they will be all ready with that information. It will be live in their mind. So you understand that enrichment layer की importance क्या है. Videos, for example, videos. You are teaching a grade 4 student how the sun, the earth moves, or grade 3 student, how the earth moves. आपने रोटेट करते हुए कभी देखा अर्थ को? देखा है? किसी ने देखा है? हाँ ना, कुछ तो बोल दो. Yes, no.
No,
Madam,
ma'am.
No, no. So how do I
actually,
tell my child that earth rotates like this, and this is the axis?
madam,
Because, yeah,
excuse madam, actually sun rises in the east and sets on the west itself. This movement only, if we make them just, you can experience. Suppose if you're standing on a ball
yeah,
that
but
keeps
have
on
you seen
moving.
the earth rotating? How does it
Yes, that
rotate?
no, actually this movement itself actually gives
You
us
can give
experience.
them a logic that the earth rotates.
Yes,
Huh?
yes,
And you can tell them that this earth rotates. I can prove how that, you know, east, setting sun and rising sun, two
yes,
directions, right? So this proves that the earth rotates.
yes.
How have you seen the movement? Nobody has.
No, no.
We can see only NASA people have seen, or those who are studying that. Okay, so what we can do is we can show them a video that this is how the earth rotates. तो उनके दिमाग में वो इम्प्रिंट हो जाएगा, ठीक है, कि ऐसे अर्थ रोटेट करता है. दिस इज हाउ द सन rises from the east and sets in the west. They will be able to make out the clear picture in their mind. That is why this layer is very, very important. And that is why we say that हमें पहले outcome को recognize करना है, identify करना है. All right, this part is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody who has, okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Then our next strategy of resource integration is inquiry based learning, where we are using a lot of different kinds of resources. हाँ, तो एक example मैंने यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. For example, you give them a question or a problem and you ask them that, okay, and this is a group activity, by the way. So you arrange them in groups and tell them that, okay, this is the problem, and you give different problems to different people, different groups, right? So then you tell them that, okay, आपको आपका ये question है, ये आपको problem solve करना है, but I want you to use all the resources available with you. For example, you have 3 books, so you have to find the answer from all these 3 books. So somebody is taking a look at the textbook, somebody is looking at the workbook, and somebody is looking at the supplementary book, right? Plus, you can also tell them that, okay, you have seen that video as well. So you can recall what happened in that video and what was the learning, correct? And you can integrate everything and give a solution. So what is happening here is you are not reading out. ये टीचर सेंट्रिक क्लास से स्टूडेंट सेंट्रिक क्लास बन गया, isn't it? Am I talking sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Why
Yes,
is Ritik
ma'am.
quiet today? Ritik, why are you quiet? Usually he's the first one to answer. Okay, so this is what the shift is going to happen, and when this shift happens, आपको इंटीग्रेशन करने में और ज्यादा इजी हो जाएगा, बिकॉज बच्चे भी इन्वॉल्व हो गए. सिर्फ आप ही अपना माइंड नहीं लगा रहे हैं, बच्चे भी लगा रहे हैं. तो क्या हो रहा है कि वो दे बिकम interested in that learning process, and then they will get into a habit of using reference books. अब आप क्लास 10 9 के बाद आप बोलते हैं कि रेफरेंस बुक यूज करें, करेक्ट? यहाँ पे जो सीनियर क्लास को टीच करते हैं वो मेरे साथ अग्री करेंगे, राइट? सो वेयर डू यू पुट दैट? हाउ डू यू स्टार्ट ट्रेनिंग देम? You start training them from here, from lower class. आप 2-3 तरह के उनको books दीजिए and tell them that you find that relevant part from that book. Questions जो आपके lesson के end में दिए होते हैं, उसको बोलिए कि आप ढूंढिए इसमें, अपने lesson में you find the answer in the lesson. So what is happening here? NEP, NCF says, they emphasize on deep thinking and constructive learning. Right? So the children are gaining knowledge, constructing it, and then reproducing it. Correct? So this is the advantage of integration. Correct? Okay. There is one more thing which is very, very important and which helps you a lot in your resource, and that is preparing micro lesson plans. Have you heard about this? Micro lesson planning?
Yes, ma'am.
Heard of
What is
micro teaching, ma'am, not micro lesson planning.
micro lesson planning? What is it? Anything that comes to your mind. Micro is a word, right? So if you can relate it with that. Anybody? Okay, so let's take a look at how your lesson, what should be the features of your lesson plan. So first is that your lesson plan should begin with SMART objectives. What is SMART? What does SMART stand for? I'm sure you know.
The objectives, madam, we may achieve within the given
What
prescribed
is
time,
SMART?
that is 1 period.
This is an acronym, right? SMART is an acronym. So what does S stand for?
Hello,
Let's go
ma'am.
letter by. Yeah.
A stands for art integration. M for
No.
measurable.
Yeah, it is
Yes, M for measurable, yes. S
specific.
for
Specific, ma'am.
Achievable.
specific.
Achievable.
A, achievable, yes. R,
Relevant.
sorry,
Relevant.
relevant, yes. Relatable, relevant, yes. And T,
Time based.
time-based, time-bound, time-based, right? So you have to have a SMART objective. So it should qualify for all these parameters, right? Then you have to mention the materials and resources. I'm sure everybody knows about it. Then you have instructional strategies. This is how we prepare our lesson plans. Then activities. What are you going to give in the introduction for the core topic and as a recapitulation activity, correct? Then you have your differentiation techniques, like different activities for different learners, right? And then you have your assessment methods, which is also mentioned in your lesson. Okay, so whether it will be a formative assessment or a summative assessment. Okay, so I have brought an example of a micro lesson plan. So I will just show you that and maybe then we can discuss. So I want you to observe this and tell me what difference do you see. Okay, so this is your lesson, globes and maps, and this is your lesson objective. So just cursory look. I don't want you to go into detail. Then I just want you to notice what headings are given. Okay, so lesson objectives, then sessions required, how many sessions required, and what is the time period of one session. Okay, then resources required, what all do you need? Then your learning methodology, what all pedagogies you will be using here, and then instruction details. Correct? Now you can observe here that I have given an objective here also and an objective here also. So what is the requirement of giving the objective in a session? Anybody?
Ma'am, please repeat.
We have seen that we had given the lesson objectives here, right? You can see that, Purvi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and there is objectives here also in session 1. So my question is, why objectives at 2 places?
I think the second ones are instruction-based objectives.
Second one is instruction.
Instruction-based objectives. Through the teaching,
Instruction-based objectives. Okay,
yes,
all
through
right.
your teaching, what is the objective that you want to gain by the end of that particular session?
Exactly. So basically, this objective is pertaining to that particular session that you are taking.
Ma'am,
All right. So, for example, you are beginning the session, right? So again, you will see that resources are also mentioned here, because what you have mentioned here is for the complete lesson. So you, for example, compass, magnetic compass is mentioned here, but in the first session, you are not using that. What you are using in the first session is your textbook, your whiteboard or chalkboard, marker, LCD screen, and video. There's a video that you want to show. So these are your resources for the first lesson. Because we are saying that we need 6 sessions of 35 minutes each. So for your first session, these are your objectives and these are your resources, and then you go to the procedure. All right, and procedure also, you will see that there is every procedure is you can imagine yourself in the class when you're writing these procedures, that you are delivering that, you're transacting that lesson. And then if you write this procedure, this instruction, it will be crystal clear. You don't have to do anything after that. You just have to read this and walk it to the class. This is a one-time effort that you need to make. It is very elaborate, but believe me, if you make this, your life will be as smooth as butter. You don't need to worry about what am I going to do in the next session. Right? So you just need to, for example, you need 6 lessons, 6 sessions for this lesson. So you just need to take one lesson at a time, work out all the 6 sessions. All right. And then it is also mentioned here, you will see at what point of time you are going to show that video. Right? So this is a micro lesson plan. So not only are you planning the lessons, you are also planning the sessions inside the lesson. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think this is too much work? It is. Too much
Initially,
work.
but once you have all the plans handy, I think it will be a smooth go.
Exactly, exactly, right? And see, and you don't change books every year, correct?
Right.
If you deployed a book, if you've if you've chosen a book, it is there to stay with you for at least 2 years, unless and until you get a better version of that, right? So, and not every day changes are happening. So once you've made this plan, it is going to help you in further years also. Maybe you can change the activities. You cannot do the same repeated activities every time, right? But the main content of the main flow of your lesson remains the same, right?
Ma'am, in
Then
many
you have,
private schools, they change every year the new book. The old book will be changed with the new one. For what they are doing, I don't know. But in many, my niece and nephew, where they are studying, the books are always change every year, and
yeah. So yeah,
they are
I
facing
understand that,
so
Samay.
many.
I understand that. But the topics will not change, no. Maybe the lesson name will change, but the concept will remain the same. So you have a basic lesson plan here and a micro lesson plan. So you just have to make some minor changes here. For example, you are taking maps and globes. Maps and globes का हो सकता है नाम change हो जाएगा उस, but concept तो वही रहेगा ना, because जो आपके topics include होते हैं books में, वो तो decide NCERT करता है, वो private publications नहीं करते. That guideline is given by NCERT that you need to include these topics. ठीक है? तो हर पब्लिकेशन में वो टॉपिक्स तो रहेंगे ही रहेंगे. Even if the books change, you just have to make minor changes. कोई drastic changes नहीं होने वाले आपके पास. For example, you are teaching the basics of maps. Will that change? हो जाएगा change?
No,
Anybody?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Map will remain a map. और जो इंफॉर्मेशन आप शेयर करोगे बच्चों के साथ, जो उनको जानना चाहिए मैप्स के बारे में, वो भी सेम रहेगा. सिर्फ पेज नंबर्स बदल जाएंगे या एक्टिविटीज बदल जाएंगे. हो सकता है उस बुक में कोई एक्टिविटी दी हो, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. एंड इफ यू डू दिस, बिलीव मी, योर लाइफ विल बिकम वेरी वेरी सिंपल, वेरी सिंपल. इनिशियली आपको थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा इसमें. एंड अगर आप एक दो लेसन ऐसे माइक्रो सेशन प्लान्स एक दो बनाएंगे ना, यू विल बिकम फ्लुएंट. और भी फ्लुएंट आप हो जाओगे बिकॉज आपने वो ऑलरेडी वो जो ग्रिड है वो बना के रखा हुआ है. तो यू जस्ट हैव टू सी कि ये वाला, अच्छा इस लेसन में ये पेज नंबर्स हैं, ये मेरी एक्टिविटीज हैं, ये मेरी वीडियोस हैं, और ये मेरे सप्लीमेंट्री बुक के वो हैं, टॉपिक्स हैं. आप सब पुट इन करो. एंड इजियर वे, इसका भी एक इजी वे है विच इज वेरी टाइम सेविंग. आप उसको अपनी बुक में ही लिख लो. यू रीडिंग द लेसन, करेक्ट? आपने वहीं पे लिख दिया कि अच्छा मेरे को मेरे टेक्स्ट बुक में इस पार्ट में मैं अपना वर्कबुक लेके आने वाली. वहीं पे आपने लिख दिया वर्कबुक पेज नंबर 1. उसके बाद सप्लीमेंट्री, अच्छा सप्लीमेंट्री बुक का ये वाली एक्टिविटी आई एम गोइंग टू ब्रिंग इन एट द स्टेज. आप बुक पढ़ रहे हो उस वक्त, टेक्स्ट बुक आपने उसी वक्त उसमें लिख दिया, राइट? देन यू फ्रेम क्वेश्चंस. अच्छा मेरे को वार्म अप क्वेश्चंस ये पूछे रिकैपिचुलेशन के लिए, जस्ट टू चेक द प्रायर नॉलेज. आपने वहीं पे अपनी टेक्स्ट बुक में मार्जिन्स होते हैं, वहां पे आपने क्वेश्चंस लिख दिए, ज्यादा से ज्यादा 2 या 3, नॉट मोर देन दैट. वर्कबुक वर्कशीट के लिए आपको क्वेश्चन बनाना है. अच्छा यू गोइंग थ्रू सम पैसेज व्हिच यू फील दैट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ओके वहीं पे क्वेश्चन लिख दिया. So if you organize your textbook like this, it will act like your planner. And then what you need to do is अपना textbook खोला, अच्छा ये है, यहाँ पे लिख दिया सेशन प्लान, अपने माइक्रो लेसन प्लान. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I
Yes,
can
ma'am.
only hear Purvi. I don't see
ma'am.
any thumbs up,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
because I need
ma'am.
to know, right? Because it's an online session, I can't see you. I need to know. Okay. So now we are going back. So this is how micro lesson planning will help you in resource integration, because we are talking about resource integration and we are talking about strategies of resource integration. So micro lesson planning is also a start. Okay. Now we come to the time management part, because this is the most pressing thing that we face, right? So micro lesson इसके बाद sorry, I'm sorry, time management strategies क्या है? We have already discussed backward planning, right? So once you know what the outcome is, you quickly will assign your resources and gather them together. So it is going to save time. You think so? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Create resource mapping grid.
Yes.
This again will save you time, because if you make this grid, your lesson planning will become easier. So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
time that you used to spend on lesson planning, it will get reduced. Efforts get reduced, right? Then you have cluster similar content across books. ये अभी हमने करा था कि आप combine कर रहे हो chapters, तो आपका time
Yes.
save हो रहा है, because in the class you don't have to repeatedly explain the same thing over and over again. एक
Yes,
flow
ma'am.
बन जाता है, उसी में सब बच्चे समझ जाते हैं. It is easier for you also as well as the kids. ठीक है? This saves you time. Use layered instruction approach. This again saves you time, because base you have already made. You just keep on adding things. तो आप इधर उधर नहीं जाते हो. You don't go haywire. ठीक है? So this is one thing. Then comes your concept map. This is very useful and a very quick way to save time. I have given a concept map here. What you can do is, you can just, not everything in the textbook is important, right? So you just pick the main ideas from the textbook and put it in the concept map. And then you write the resources which will help you achieve that, objective. Correct? So concept map will help you stay focused. You will not, deviate from your focus. It will help you focus on the main points, right? Then allocate time blocks in each class. Divide your class into time blocks. 5 minutes for recapitulation, 10 minutes for this, 10 minutes for this, 5 minutes for summarization of the session. अक्सर ये होता है कि बेल हो जाती है and we are still teaching. होता है आपके साथ ऐसे?
Yes,
होता है
very true, ma'am.
है ना? So where did we get the time to summarize the lesson? Where did I help my child to recall? Because हमने बहुत सारा discussion करा and the child is lost. So main ideas child कैसे main takeaways को हम कैसे revision करेंगे? Exit ticket maybe. This is a summarization activity. 2-3 questions. You just write and give it to the students. Okay, nominate one. All right, I want to give this ticket to someone. Give it to him. बहुत सारे volunteers आएंगे आपके पास. Give it to one. All right. Okay. Now answer this. You read the exit ticket question and everybody will answer. Okay. So this way you can recapitulate. Quick assessment. और उस समय आपको ये भी समझ में आ जा रहा है whether the information that you have shared with the students, they have understood it or not. तो आपका वहीं पे assessment भी हो जा रहा है. So if you feel that okay, ये वाला part शायद clear नहीं है, I need to revisit. So next day आपने उसको फिर से revisit. Now imagine you complete the whole session, a whole lesson, and then at the end you are coming up with asking them, okay, Now tell me what is everything clear or not? अब पता चला कि उसने तो शुरू का कोई पार्ट बता दिया कि मैम ये नहीं समझ में आया. अब शुरू का ही नहीं समझ में आया तो इतना सारा कैसे समझ में आएगा? Okay, so there, so it is going to take a long time to and a lot of effort from you to revisit the whole thing. You will have to practically revisit the whole thing, right? So it's a time killer, time taker, all right? And then integrate with your assessment plan. So you have already made a plan of assessment. This will be my formative assessment. This, from this lesson, I'm going to pick up my summative assessment. Summative में इस लेसन में से मुझे फिलअप लेने हैं, इस लेसन में से मुझे ट्रू फॉल्स लेने हैं, इस लेसन में से मुझे गिव रीजंस लेने हैं, एंड इस लेसन में से मुझे हॉट्स लेना है. So this way you have segmented the lessons, you have divided the lessons. एक यूनिट में कितने लेसन्स होते हैं approximately? How many lessons do you have in a unit? I'm talking about the assessment part, test. Say first unit test. कितने lessons होते हैं?
3 to 4, ma'am.
3 to 4. In lower classes, 3 to 4. In higher classes, maybe 6 or 7. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So now you have to divide कि आपको कौन से लेसन में से किस टाइप का क्वेश्चन देना है, because it depends on the content of the lesson, the information being shared on the in the lesson. You cannot take a hot question from a very basic lesson. ठीक है? And one thing, when you are organizing your content page and dividing the lessons, you also might come across certain lessons which are just good to know. जिसमें बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन है, आपको डिटेल में पढ़ाने की जरूरत नहीं. तो टेक देम टू द एंड. ओके, तो आपका क्या होगा, मे बी 22 लेसन लिस्टेड हैं, बट हो सकता है कि आपको पढ़ाना सिर्फ 19 लेसन हो. 3 लेसन आर गुड टू नो. यू कैंट लीव देम, बट यू विल डू इट in a hurried way, or you will not focus so much of attention on those lessons. You will share information because those are very basic information, easy to understand. So you will share and the children will understand. Maybe 1 or 2 activities you can do, and that's it. Okay? So this is how time management is taken care of when you are doing all these processes. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we come to the key takeaways, what we have done in the session. And I want you to recall our objectives as well, whether we have aligned this with the objectives or not. So align all resources the same outcome. This we have done, right? Use one as core, others as supplementary. So core is your textbook, basic knowledge, and then supplementary resources. Okay? Use different mediums. This we have seen, text, visual, experiential. This is going to make our classrooms more engaged. Be organized. Avoid duplication. So if you're organized, you have your grid in place, you have your micro lesson plan in place, you are following the key strategies of integration, nothing like it. Okay, you are done. And then document your integration plan. Everything needs to be documented. How many of you work on Google Drive?
Ma'am, I.
You do?
Am I?
Okay.
Uh,
Who else?
I have worked, ma'am.
You. Right. So Google Drive is a blessing. You can share any document, you can collaborate to any extent. For example, we were talking about that collaborated weekly plan, right? Where you are talking about EVS, English, math happening in the same week. So you begin with EVS maybe, ठीक है? आप उस डॉक्यूमेंट को शेयर कर दो अपने सारे फ्रेंड्स के साथ, अपने सारे कोलीग्स के साथ. हाँ, तो इंग्लिश वाला अपना उसमें लेसन प्लान डाल देगा, अपना वीकली प्लान डाल देगा, मैथ वाला अपना वीकली प्लान डाल देगा, म्यूजिक वाला अपना वीकली प्लान. So it will make your life so easy. So easy. For example, there are 2 teachers in 1 grade teaching English. Okay? Start preparing your question paper. 2 people can work together. Correct? So you build the question paper. 2 minds are better than 1. You build the question paper. Okay? Or you can divide the work. So I will make these lessons, you can make these lessons, and you put it in a folder in a drive and share it with your friends.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So this is what you can do. All right. Okay. So any questions? I hope I've been able to explain, and I hope that you have found this session to be useful.
Yes, ma'am.
तो आप प्लीज कर सकते हो, जो लोगों ने नहीं अटेंड करा उनको आप प्लीज कर सकते हो.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Purvi.
Ma'am, due to some reason I have joined late, so if you don't mind, can you in a sweet and short manner revise it?
Revise the whole session.
Prior slides.
Prior, from where did you miss? You tell me.
Before that pyramid one.
Acha, okay. So this is what we had done. We had started the session with a warm-up activity, right? And then we had seen the session objectives. Then we had this challenge. We had discussed that what challenges we face in our everyday life, in our classrooms. Then we had taken a look at the common challenges that all the teachers face. And then we had discussed how NEP and NCF are emphasizing on multiple resources to be used for teaching. So shifting away from only the textbook. And then we had discussed why it is important to use multiple resources in our classrooms. Then we had started with the strategies. So first we had begun with setting curriculum priorities, that what we want our students to learn. So we had discussed the difference between curriculum and syllabus as well. Then we went to the strategies of resource planning. So first was the backward design approach. So we start with the outcome, and then we move forward about aligning the resources with our outcomes. What resources can help us attain our outcomes? So that's a backward approach. And then we had taken a look at how to prepare a resource mapping grid. Here we had mapped all our resources pertaining to a chapter. I'm sure Twinkle ma'am is going to share the recording as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sutabaji, we will, Purviji, you will get the recording.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Spoken about the thematic conceptual integration. So we had done, how to club lessons together to save time. And then we had taken a look at how multiple subjects can be integrated. And from here, you have already attended.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So
I
that
think,
is it.
Sutabaji, we are done with the questions also. Any question is there?
Any questions?
No,
okay,
ma'am.
That's great. So I would like to leave you with this thought, a wonderful quote on the teachers. And thank you so much for joining
Thank you, Sutabaji, for your time and efforts.
Thank you,
Thanks a
ma'am.
lot. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.